Hi there, I'm Aman from the Bento design system team, and we are super excited to bring you this mini series on Figma variables and how we are planning to use these variables. In this video, we'll be learning about what are Figma variables, what are the benefits, why Bento is switching to Figma variables, and what are some challenges that we need to be mindful of. We are really excited about this topic, and we hope you are too. So, let's get started. Let's now take a look at what are Figma variables. Figma introduced variables at Config 2023 to give designers more flexibility and control. Figma variables, as the name suggests, are elements that can hold different types of values. That means that Figma variables are not tied to just one type of value throughout its entire lifecycle. Figma at the moment supports 4 different types of variables. The first one is color variables that store raw hex codes or reference other color variables. Then we have the number variables that hold any numeric value like corner radius, font size, or spacing. Then we have the string variables, which are the most interesting one for me. These store text values such as names, font names, or even greetings. And then finally we have the Boolean variables. These represent more binary kind of values, so such as true, false, yes, no, on, off kind of values that are used for toggling states. These variables are essential for making designs more dynamic and easier to update across projects. Now that we know what are Figma variables, let's take a look at their benefits. The number one benefit of Figma variables is theming. With variables, switching between brand themes is incredibly fast and efficient. In our case, we manage 3 distinct brand themes. Instead of manually adjusting each element for each brand, you can update your screen in just a few clicks. This is possible because of modes, which allows us to define multiple sets of variable values, making it easy to switch between themes. Don't worry, we'll take a look at modes in a future video. Figma variables also helps us bridge the gap between design and development. Designers and developers can now refer to the same value for colors, typography, spacing, and more, ensuring consistency across both design and code as these variables are directly tied to the Bento repository. This reduces miscommunication and makes handoffs smoother, ensuring that what's designed in Figma is easier to replicate in code. And this is something which we think is really cool. So why is Bento switching to variables? The very first reason is to stop relying on third-party solutions. Our previous solution, the Themer plugin, introduced frequent bugs that disrupted our workflow. This is because the plugin has not been updated in over 2 years and quite clearly has not kept up with the latest Figma updates. This has often caused inconsistencies in theming and slowed down the design process. By switching to Figma variables, we can rely on a more stable and integrated solution directly supported by Figma. Our second reason is velocity. Now, this is what the current workflow looks like for creating screens across different brands. First, the designer creates a screen for one brand. Then they duplicate the screen. Then they run the Thema plugin for that second brand. They make corrections, and then they duplicate the screen again. Run the Thema for brand 3. Make corrections again for all the bugs that Themer introduced. And then finally prepare for handoff. This is quite tedious. With Figma variables, this process becomes much simpler. Designers only need to design once, apply variables at the parent level, and then toggle between brands from the Properties panel to see changes instantly, as you can see on the video on the right. Even better, this also works in dev mode, allowing engineers to seamlessly review how the design looks like across different brands. And then finally, our third reason is to keep our setup scalable and future-proof. As Bento grows, scalability is crucial. Figma variables are built to handle large, complex systems, allowing us to easily expand our design system as needed. This means that for us as the design system team, we would have to maintain just one file. This also means that for you, our designers, have to update one file as well. This is also a big benefit. And that wraps up our introduction to Figma variables. We hope you found this helpful. In the next video, we'll be taking a much closer look at Bento's Figma variables. See you then. Bye.